Now to a story which will have implications for the mass dissemination of information across the world. Yes, it's Elon Musk's purchase of social media giant Twitter. And much to the horror of the left, Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter means they will have to check their privilege of controlling the narrative. It's a win for free speech, and we all know what the progressive media thinks of that concept.
The enjoyment they get out of being in this town square is being able to harass people, being able to attack people. Elon Musk, I guess he misses the old South Africa in the 80s. He wants that back.
Broader question for Twitter, which is, if you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party?
It's kind of funny. Elon Musk wants to buy it, but there are massive life and globe altering consequences for just letting people run wild on the thing.
Elon Musk is a danger to Twitter and to freedom of speech. He has been known to say some of the most transphobic and homophobic things to his millions of followers.
And we have this take from MSNBC's Ari Melber.
If you own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election. Elon Musk says this is all to help people because he is just a free speech, philosophically clear, open-minded helper.
Is the left only now starting to realise the dangers of social media censorship and control? Yes, it would be absolutely devastating for democracy if a tech giant censored candidates, nominees, or maybe even negative news coverage about them. I don't recall this chumping outrage when the New York Post was banned from Twitter for sharing an accurate and important story about Hunter Biden. And I've been struggling to come up with an analogy for what Twitter progressives are now feeling. But I think nothing I say could top this from Fox News' Greg Gutfeld.
Your favorite restaurant, is under new ownership, and it went from vegan to barbecue. This is what's happening. It's no longer preferred treatment for the left, right? Yeah. You don't get the best table by the window anymore. Yeah. Everybody is now the same.
Greg Gutfeld, he's great.
That's great. I'm going the barbecue over the vegan every time. But I tell you what, that other bloke at the end of the package talking about, what could happen and what you might not find out till after the election, he actually described what did happen with the Hunter Biden story and with the Wuhan lab leak story, stories that were censored not just by the big digital giants, but by the mainstream media in the US, deliberately censored and stifled until the election, and the truth was revealed after the election. That's what's been happening, and that's what Elon Musk getting hold of Twitter might help counter against. There's a part of me that says the best thing that Elon Musk could do would be pack up the hardware and servers that drive Twitter, put them on one of his space rockets and just blast them off into space for junk so that we never see or hear of Twitter again. But if he's going to make it free and fair for everyone and have people identified under their true names, I'd be tempted to make a statement and go back on Twitter, except my wife might not let me.
No, we'll get you back on. Caroline, what are your thoughts? I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm also very sceptical about holding any individual up as a saviour. Do you think Elon Musk will make any meaningful difference to Twitter?
Oh, look, and I totally agree with that. Look, no one spends $44 billion just for love and fluff and cuddles and stuff like that. It's clearly a commercial decision for him. And look, we will see what happens. And if all that happens is that, well, what is an unfair kind of advantage to one team is evened out, well, then that's actually a blessing, and that's actually what we should look for. I always take the view that if you've got an idea and it is so rubbish that it needs to be protected in any given marketplace, the marketplace of ideas, whether it's the actual public square or online, then your idea is just garbage.
Well said, Caroline. Well said. An idea should stand up on its own against scrutiny. Caroline DeRusso, thank you so much for joining me.
Anytime, mate.
And Chris Kenny, it is always a pleasure.
Great, Jack.